check the level of the last check here. Alright, here we go. Okay, bonus class. Why is that still so quiet? Seems like, okay, there's that. Oh, like that. Then, opposite. You know, if you really want to learn how to make a streamer go crazy, mess with their audio setup. I wondered why the audio sounded like a tin can because it wasn't coming from this really nice microphone. I'm like, why does this sound like a tin can? Because it was coming from a tin can. All right. So that's 8 minutes of messing around. Oh my goodness. Anyway, should be interesting to see if you can actually hear me. Okay, pretty cool. Sounds like we have a pretty good mix of audio going on. Welcome to Bonus Life, where I'm celebrating 10 years since my heart attack. Had a massive heart attack, the Widowmaker. Sounds scary because it was scary. I promise you, you don't want one. I've been there. Uh, the only thing I can say is it felt like two elephants squished the side of my head and then squished my chest and my back. And somehow miraculously, I survived. I'm thankful every single day I wake up. I'm thankful to be here. It is my bonus life. 10 years of it. So, with that in mind, I decided to give some bonus life back to the community. And to give back, I took some junk, some stuff that was essentially dead and broken, and I rebuilt it. So far, we've recapped 2 N64 units. Hey, look, two both. Let me fix the viewpoint here. Much better. At least much better than it was. Where's my studio mode? All right. So yeah, we've got not one, but two N64s to give bonus life to. I've got a couple of things. Last week, we messed with the BlueRetro, which lets you take any Bluetooth controller and use that for your N64. And in the mail, I got an expansion pack. The N64 expansion pack, 4 megabytes, that's 4 megabytes of expansion RAM for your Nintendo 64. These are surprisingly expensive. They were expensive back in the day, they're expensive now. This is just the jumper pack. Again, don't run these too long without having their heat sinks on. You can damage them fairly easily. I'm in the basement. It's pretty cold down here. I ran one for about 5 minutes and I was pretty uncomfortable. The chips got really hot. So I've got some prototype printouts of bonus life stickers and R&D2 Labs stuff. And a couple things for another project, but yeah. Shout out to Patrick Richards. Again, he was going to let me use his music, and what you're hearing is not that at all. Had to use some open source music and some stuff that I created specifically for this. Now, before we get started into soldering, let's take a look at some of the other cool things that came in this week. All right, that's not the camera. Why is it so darn big? I don't understand what happened. You know, I should plan like an hour before each stream to reline up all the cameras because they seem to drift. Really strange. There we go. Okay. So, also this week we got some switches. Why switches? Well, if we customize the N64, we want a way to turn on and off the lights, the customization. These are nice little latching switches. They can be placed discreetly. I think these were a good pickup. Had a really interesting experience with an MSI branded product. It's a Wi-Fi 7 card, and I dismantled it because I wanted to put it in a low profile computer. Turns out it was just a piece or a PCIe card and a little half height. Yeah, it just, I took it out and put it right on the motherboard and it worked. It was great. It's a really interesting experience in consumer land. All right, a couple other things we got. We've got the GBSC ODV. I was going to build this, and what I realized pretty quickly was they've got these things built in China where they've made motherboards and cases and things like that for them. And of course, they don't give those out, or those designs out. There's a couple of open source ones out there, but by the time I built it, I would have a couple of $100 into it if I didn't produce, 25, 35 of them, something like that. So we got this. we're going to be using this to hook up the RGB mounted system at the end. All right. Yeah, just so much good stuff this week. I think we've got all the parts for customization. And then this stuff called Sugru. Anyway, this is a moldable, kind of a moldable putty glue, and this is going to come in handy during the build. So let's put some of these things away. Not sponsored by Coke Zero, but man, I wish we were. Cherry Coke Zero. That is good. Now I'm looking out over my bench. And my goodness, there's a couple other things. I had this tester, and it's nice. It's a great tester. It works really well. I didn't know anything about this Greenlee company. And then I found this one. Cleaned it all up, and it seems to work really well. And I'm eager to start using this one. And I think we will. Just not right this second. Alright, moving a little bit of stuff off the bench. What do we have? Where's a good place to start? So we have 2 working N64 units. That's great. Let me move my little printouts. All right. Put the BlueRetro back in the project box. Put these back in the project box. Now, one of these is a really easy to mod RGB. And that's the one that says 1996. We're going to start with that one. This one is significantly harder. We're going to take these, place them over here. Make sure your soldering iron is clear of all craziness before you turn it on. Right. There we go. A little more organized and cleaned up. It's always good to take some time to clean your space and make it work for you. This board is a little bent. It's interesting. All right, I haven't done one of these in a while. Let's grab out of the parts bag. That. Then I'm going to need 3 wires, I believe. But we'll start with that. It's a cool little jam. we go. Isolate this side, RGB version 1.2. Alright, so because I don't exactly remember how to do this one, let's go to there we go. I like this. Trying to refine the angle here. You can see the soldering iron. And then what I'm realizing is this monitor is just in the way. Which, maybe I just have to deal with. So, what we need to find is the wiring diagram for the N64 RGB mod wiring. All right, this looks like what we've got going on. Says as long as your N64 has the VDC NUS. So let's check. Let's check and see if we have the VDC NUS. We have a PIF NUS. And there's a VDC NUS right there. Yep, VDC NUS. This is a CPU 03. Here's our proper chip. This is what the mod looks like. And if I remember correctly, it lays over the I/O port, something like this. But you gotta prep it first or something. And wire a couple leads to it. There we go, like that. And then the RGB sync line. And then there's like jumpers you have to modify based on certain things up near the top here. All right. So we get to show something new. This was on Amazon for, $35 or something like that. If I can get it to work. There we we go. Does work. So this is the chip we're installing. That's how small. The RGBCS. There we go. So that's new. Microscope cam. I like Microscope cam. I finally got the cable for it today, so we can use Microscope cam. Now back to how do we do this mod? Ours looks like the one in the middle here. I think I better look it up, find out which one it is. Came from eBay, of course. I don't know if am I signed in down here? No, I'm not. I'm not signed in here. I can search for N64 RGB mod. Some of them even are fancy and they come with 4 wires. I guess I'll have to choose North America. Some of these tunes are not bad. Some of them are a little crazy. Alright, why am I not getting the results? Makes no sense. These chips are easy to find. There we go. IBC Tech. So this is the Bordy version. Bordy. I should have bought it right from Bordy. Does this have I don't want installation services, I want to know how to do it. This is just silly. Okay, let's look elsewhere. That's not working. Nope, this is for the other much more complicated one. Much more complicated. Who would have thought? It's hard to find the schematic to install this thing. I've done it before, and I know this is quote-unquote the easy one, I'm just having a really tough time. I've had a heck of a week. I really have. Let's just get real. I've had a heck of a week. I'm exhausted. I'm in a lot of pain. It took me a lot to get my brain to say, hey, let's do this, let's focus, let's get down here and clean up your space, get your stuff ready, do your stream. It was so hard. It was so hard to do this today. It's a really challenging day today. Yeah, mostly pain. You know, and you get this self-doubt. I released the original mod, which was a prototype, and took some pictures of it and sent it out to Reddit. And the response was mixed. Some people are like, oh, you destroyed it. Other people are like, hey, that's really cool. And a couple people were like, it's just so badly done. I'm like, it's a prototype. Of course, nothing fits right. It's a proof of concept. That's like the step before a prototype. I literally picked up garbage out of my pile and said, okay, this one should work, even though it's got a big gouge in the back. Anyway, it was a struggle today. It really was a struggle today to do things. So I'm having a rough day, and now I can't find this RGB mod thing. It's like, come on, man. It's not that hard. I think this one's just called the RGB bypass. Okay, there it is. Alright, so here's what I'm gonna do. I don't think a lot of people are watching right now. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to chill out. I'm gonna go relax. I love you guys. I love the community. The people that have stopped in, the people that have supported me on this bonus life journey. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing, and I'm just gonna go chill out and rest because that's what I need to do right now. As much as I would love to sit down here and stream and do this, and I even got a comfy chair so I can do this. This is awesome. I put in some lights. A lot of work goes into making this and making it nice and making a space that I can stream. It's more of a space so I can solder, but so I can stream as well. Anyway, what I'll do is I'm gonna put this on hold. I'm gonna go make dinner. I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna make some dinner. I know that doesn't sound relaxing to everybody, but it's relaxing to me. And then maybe I'll do a pop-up in a couple hours, or tomorrow, or something. So that's what I'm gonna do. I've got everything dialed in. I'm gonna just kind of leave it, and we'll see what happens. Love, peace, chicken grease. Love y'all.